'Cause I'm riding the pine, riding the pine. The chronicles of the fourth line. I'm just sitting here by myself with two other good friends of mine. That's why we're riding the pine, riding the pine. Punchy Langer in summertime.
Hey.
7 days, boys. It's been 7 days.
It's 7 days and 7 shows. Welcome back to Riding Pine, Chronicles of the Fourth Line. Tonight is going to be a fun night because you know us by our nicknames, Punchy Langer and Summertime. And so here we are. We're 7 EPIs in, boys. How are you feeling?
Yeah.
Great, buddy.
Yeah, I'm enjoying. I'm having fun.
Every Wednesday, I feel good. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
So we started having a chat there, and we cut it off quick and wanted to get the show started right away. So let's go back to right what we were talking about before we even came on. Let's not even hit the topic yet. We'll come back to it. We were talking about your number. It's a very important thing.
Yep.
Like tonight's theme, it's a very important theme. It's a very important thing. So your number. So where'd you get yours from, Summer?
Well, so, there's always a story. So mine is, look, my birth date is 11/11/77, right?
Nice.
So growing up, I always wanted to get that.
That's a Gordon Lightfoot song. That's great.
Is it?
Yeah, well, it has to be. It's great.
Man, I was like, I listen to Gordon Lightfoot. I don't know that song.
Yeah, maybe not. I'm sure he's thought about it, though.
But, so I don't know why I didn't go with like a 1 or 11 or, something like that, or 77. But one of my good buddies growing up, he had 7 all the time. So, but it was only recently, last 15 maybe years, Ryan Getzlaff was probably my favorite player, and he was number 15. So I went with that, man. He could do it all. He could fight, he could shoot, he could score. He was big and tough and great passer, great shooter. Wicked snapshot, man. Wow. Olympian, yeah.
Stanley Cup champion.
Beat the Senators.
Played for the Hitmen for a lot of years, too.
It was a hard loss.
That's right. He was a Calgary Hitman.
But yeah, so that was number 15. I settled with that, and I've been 15 ever since.
But that's kind of late, though. Like, Did you have another number when you were younger?
Yeah, I don't. Like, I mean, I always kind of went with 3 because that was my dad's number.
Right.
But no, I didn't really. Wasn't too fussed.
So if they just fired you a number 8 jersey in the dressing room, you're just gonna throw that on?
Whatever.
All right.
Like I wasn't that into hockey where it was like I obviously knew 99, 88, 66, blah blah blah. But I
number 4
didn't.
Why was Yanni number 3?
Yeah, it's a good question. I'll have to ask him that. I don't know the story to number 3. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. That's a good story for you to find out.
Yeah. I'll come back to you guys on that one.
So I'll jump in and throw mine into the hat right away. I was always number 8. Loved Cam Neely.
It's 0. 8 is 0 with a belt.
Kick his ass, Seabass.
Exactly. One of my really good friends growing up, Chris Johnson, actually he was the best man at my wedding. Him and I, talking about tough guys, me and him used to go at each other in a Bantam League nonstop. We played on the 2 rival house league teams, and we were both number 8. And then we got to play on the same team one year. So it was the age of the rock. It was the age of the Rock and Stone Cold. So I turned that son of a bitch sideways, and that's how I ended up with 00. So at 00 it's kind of stuck since.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
And it's good because, like, if you're ever looking at a jersey online, you already know what your jersey's going to look like because it's the default.
It's the 0 jersey. There was a dude in the NHL I remember seeing who wore 00. I can't tell you who it is, but if you looked it up, you'd find there was a dude in the NHL who wore 00.
I'll look it up while we're
maybe for the Rockies or something. Yeah.
So there's the story of 00 on my back. So Langer.
Wait, before you start, Langer, what era was this 00 player?
Oh, 80s, I'm thinking.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so if you open your nostrils and sniff around, you'll find that. Because I saw it. I thought, that's interesting.
I don't.
He's nothing.
I want to say, Marty Baron wore it in the '96 season.
Okay, yeah. Oh, you're looking around. You're sniffing around.
You cannot wear 0 or 00.
There's a rule.
Yeah.
Why? What does it say?
It's not a number.
No, it's like black's not a color. It's like it's
It
nothing.
says the NHL no longer permits the use of 0 or 00 as the league's database cannot list players with such numbers.
Okay, so it's computers.
And in 2000, the league retired the number 99 for all members.
Yeah, for Wilf Paymont, who played for the Leafs in the early 80s. Yeah, he was a great player. Look it up. He wore 99.
Yeah, Rick Dudley did as well.
What?
No, I'm serious. Look it up.
Wilf
Paymont.
Really?
Check it out.
Rick Dudley is also the other guy that wore 99.
He was a coach of the Sabres, I think.
Rick Dudley wore 99 for one season.
Now let's talk.
And Paymont did it for 3 seasons for the Leafs.
You're talking about guys around town. If your name is Rick Dudley, everybody knows exactly what you're up to. Do you know Rick? Rick Dudley? Oh, I know Rick Dudley.
Yeah, he's the guy with the mustache.
Of course I know who he is. He has a mustache and he wears cowboy boots all the time. And he doesn't have a home address. He's just kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
Rick Dudley. Yeah, that's a great name. Anybody named Rick, actually, you can go nickname, call him Ricky or whatever. So you want to know my number? I'll tell you my number. So I'll tell you what's interesting. So I'm around kids because I'm a teacher, and so I remember thinking about sports numbers, and I'd ask the kids, and so a lot of kids in New Zealand, their favorite number is 1 to 15 because it's rugby related. So you can't just fire out like a 91 or 93 because for them, like the number is linked to something. Yeah. Whereas we can just wheel in and go, I want number 42 because I just think that sounds, great. But I thought it was interesting. A lot of kids want to be number 7 or number 10 and I know nothing about rugby because I'm not interested, but it's linked to a position or somebody who played that number. And of course they don't retire numbers that I know of. Like you can't go to Montreal because there's only like 5 numbers left if you go to Montreal because they're all retired. So
true.
Yeah, so like when Eric Stahl, for example, this week Eric Stahl scored a great overtime winner in his first game, and he was wearing number 21. Yeah. And my first thought when he was playing, I'm like, what's he gonna wear? Because you can't, they're all retired. Yeah. 21. Who wore number 21 for Montreal? You guys might know this.
Shane Corson.
Guy
Carbonneau. Yeah. And I just instinctively thought that number has to be retired because there's only numbers in like the 60s and 40s left in Montreal because they're all retired.
So Guy Carbonneau isn't retired?
No.
Wow.
Well, Eric Stahl scored with his jersey on the other night. So
I was really confused because I didn't know that Eric was playing with Montreal.
We got traded like a month ago because of the COVID quarantine stuff. Right. So he's been sitting in a hotel room playing video games and eating sandwiches and just waiting to play hockey. Right. Like that's what happens.
Right. Bam, overtime winner.
So anyway, the other thing with the numbers is I'll talk about this later on because it's about what I'm going to talk about later on. So my number is 29. It's been 29.
I was
going to
say, did we find out why you have 29 yet? This is called warm-ups.
Yeah, this is the parking lot section of the show.
Yes.
So I'm a Leaf fan, but I grew up watching a ton of Montreal games because they were on TV and they were in playoffs and so one of the first images I saw as a kid was Ken Dryden. In that famous image where he's standing in the crease leaning on his stick with the mask, and like goalies were terrifying looking back in the day, right?
Yeah, damn right.
Like aside from the whole Friday the 13th reference, I'm like goalies were pretty intimidating. Yeah. And he was number 29, and I just loved him. So I tried to do that in the crease, was stand on my stick. But I'm like 5'0", so I need a step ladder to get up there to lean on sticks, so I couldn't do it. But then it all worked out because in the early 90s, Felix Potvin was the goalie for Toronto. I'm like, perfect. So I love 29. Now he's a Leaf. I can wear it with dignity, and I'm good to go. So I've been 29 ever since.
Sweet.
And it's not quite 30.
That's right. That's right.
You know, which is a tender number. So I'm like, it's not quite 30. I can wear it as an out player.
You can. It's a versatile number.
Yeah, and not be Chris Nyland wheeling out there with number 30 fighting everybody. You know, that's a bad thing. If you're a guy and you're wearing a goalie number, like, there's not a lot of like. That's how much management thinks about you.
Yeah.
They're going to give you a goalie number. You might get one season out of you because it's a goalie number. All right, so that's what it is.
So, hey, on this show, we're going to stick to our same format. We're going to go with 3 periods. We're going to come at you with 3 straight periods. Somerville's going to get us started off. He'll touch on our topic, which tonight is nicknames. And in the second period, I'll catch you up with these ladies behind us. They got a little hardware that they brought home, and I'll let you know a little bit about my nicknames. And in the third, we're going to visit Langer and get the answer to that question, why today's hockey may be better, but it's not necessarily better hockey. So, off we go, boys. First period.
Let's have a good game, boys.
Underway. How you doing, Summer?
Yeah, good. Been a busy week so far, man. A lot of hockey Easter weekend. I played,
Happy Easter.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, good call.
Yeah, everybody.
Played my
Hey,
first
you're down in the
inline
Tron
tournament.
today.
Was I down in the Tron?
Yeah, you're down in the Tron today. Hey, just missed you.
I was
In the
today.
Hamilton.
Yeah, that's right. Yes. Yeah, I had a work trip today, down doing some computer techie things, as I do. But now you got me distracted. Easter weekend, man, it was where I was going.
Yeah.
That's right. Easter weekend. So we had a long
Good
weekend
man.
here.
Here's a big
It's
one.
nice in New Zealand with the Friday and the Monday off versus back home.
Yeah.
I had the Tuesday off.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Schools extending. Well, I guess you get caught up.
Well, you know what? For the people, for you guys, what I'd like to do is take that day, that Tuesday. So we have a long weekend in June, July, and August.
Yeah.
Like, I think we need a long weekend every month. Like that, and you know, honestly though, then you can do stuff, and
Yeah,
people are happier
We'll
and whatever.
encourage the
So
economy. That's
I don't
right.
need
You know,
exactly. I don't need 5 days off for
People will go
Easton.
out.
I like it, but
yeah, that
Yeah.
was nice. Yeah, for sure.
that's good. Any nicknames down in the old Hamilton, or what's going on?
No, not at work. No. Well, I won't get into that here, anyways. If there was any, but
Well, let me know when you want to get into it, because I'd like to get into that.
sure.
Surprise way.
We'll just keep it to hockey related here for the time being, anyway, shall we?
It's just a hockey show.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a little bit hockey. So.
we're running a hockey show here.
But no, nicknames at an early age, we didn't really have any. The only one I specifically remember is my goalie, and his name was Rocky. And that's, you know,
Rocky
for a
the
while I
goalie.
didn't know his
Yeah.
actual name, just Rocky. That was it.
Never knew his real name
No.
ever.
No, he was my minor hockey goalie growing up. And, yeah, but anyway, so good old Rocky. Shout out to Rocky.
Did anyone on your team know what his real name was?
I'd imagine there were a few, yes. Because like I said, right, I joined and then I dropped out, and then, you know, all my friends were still playing, so I decided I wanted to join again. So I would imagine the guys actually picked his name up. But no, nicknames for me didn't really sort of come into effect until high school.
Yeah.
So I went to elementary. I went to a French elementary school. It was a Catholic school till grade 8. And so I spoke
French immersion.
fluently. I could read it, write it,
French
speak
immersion.
it fluently. Yeah, went there for
Très bien.
Yeah. But en route, I unfortunately had some childhood, you know, problems with bullies, and so my parents moved me, and then I moved back, and so I was moved around a lot in school, unfortunately. But I was living in Malaysia, at one point in my life in Kuala Lumpur, and came back, and that's when nicknames came into effect for me. And I'm back from Malaysia, and all the guys, they grew up, through grade 8 up to grade 10, together, right? They formed their own cliques.
And those are important years,
yeah,
too.
man,
Those are big-time important
exactly,
years,
to form your social circles and the hierarchy, right? I come back from Malaysia thinking, I'm the man, still got all my friends and stuff, and everything's changed. And so, I'm trying to reestablish my social existence, and I remember specifically one night, one of the who is now a good friend, his nickname was Bud, and he was handing out nicknames, these awesome nicknames to our circle of friends. Like my buddy Paul, he got pretty popular, Paul.
Triple P.
Yes.
Double P. Yeah, double P.
He even made up a new nickname for himself, Boppin' Bodacious Bud. And
no, let's say, hold on. Let's press pause. Can you do that? You can't give yourself a nickname.
You can. I think you can try. I think you can try.
No, you can't.
And
if you do, you're trying too hard, dude. You can't do that.
If it sticks to the wall, then it's the people who chose it.
Oh no!
So
it's like paying for your own birthday party, man. Come on.
Whatever, I was going with it, right? And
So what did you get? What did you get?
I was like, oh man, I want one. Do me. And he's like, stupid Malaysian boy. And that's what I got.
SMB. Well, that doesn't work. It's too long.
I know. It got awkward.
Wow.
But,
so I can see how you've just come back from Malaysia thinking, yeah, man. And everyone's like, oh, it's Aaron.
Yeah.
It's summertime. Just came back from Malaysia.
Stupid Malaysian.
yeah, that's right.
Like, you have no idea what's happening right
That's
now.
a tongue twister. Say that 5 times fast.
But,
anyways, eventually,
oh my God.
like nicknames sort of morph over time, right? As, people do things, or they, one of my buddies, he eventually, got the name Squeletor, and
your parents like, where are you going?
Like,
Going to Squeletor's
That's
house. They're like, who? Are you sure?
Oh my God, man! Like for example, right? One of my buddies, his name is Curtis. Very common name, or common enough, anyways, right? But,
Yeah.
And then the short name for the nickname
Kurt.
is Kurt, right? And then
Yeah, Curdy.
Curdy,
Dirty
right?
Curdy.
And that's right.
Yeah.
Stuff
Yeah,
morphs,
Dirty
right?
Curdy.
As like, it was like Curtis. It was like Curti. It was like cacti. You're like, oh, okay. And then it became
More than one
Squirti. And he did not like that at all. He took exception.
Dial that
I
back.
was like, don't fucking call me that. Fuck you, Squirti. Like, fuck you. But,
That's unfortunately the funniest one is the one that sticks,
hate it.
which
Yeah.
no one likes, that he never likes,
exactly.
which makes it the best one ever.
You're like, that's a winner.
Yeah.
But or like, anybody with the last name Brown was automatically, downtown, their name Brown, downtown Cam Brown, downtown. Oh,
Aaron,
yeah.
summertime, you have to step in here because the fact that you brought that up. So I'm going to give you the I'm going to give you the.
Everybody
You guys are
knows-
You're
everybody
laughing
knows
because
a
you
brownie.
know what I'm going to.
Everybody
I
knows
know.
a brownie.
Yeah,
It's
and you
a
know it.
beauty.
Because you're going to say it, and I know it. So the fact that you said that. So when I started high school, my first nickname, which I was proud to get, was Blackie. But I realized in the first couple of seconds, that's probably not the kind of nickname you want within the first week of high school.
No.
And I have no idea why they called me that. So my next nickname was Brownie. Again, I have no idea why, because it has nothing to do with my last name. But anyway, it stuck for my whole high school career. Sometimes the girls would call me Brown Love. I'm like, that's all right.
Damn, Brownie.
But then there was a lot of other sort of stereotypical comments that would go with that.
Like, how does that go? Oh, okay. Jeez. I mean,
Well, I'll tell you the first thing you do, is if you're a person of color, is you don't go home and tell your dad.
no.
So here's the story. So no, you don't tell us. And for those people out there listening in the car or wherever
Or
they
I've ever
are,
heard an episode.
my
He is a very proud father. So this should be a great story.
my dad is a black man, and he was Samuel L. Jackson growing up in Pulp Fiction, asking for a bite of a hamburger and something to wash this down. So I had a nickname. We used to play football in the schoolyard, and it was in grade 3, and we were divvying up teams as you do in the democratic fashion of schoolyard.
Yeah.
And so divvying up, and they're like, "Okay, you guys can have nigger shit." I'm like, "Sweet,"
What?
because I knew it was me. I'm like, "Cool." They're like, "Okay, so nigger shit's on your team." I'm like,
These
"Okay,
are grade 3
No,
year old kids?
yeah, you can laugh. It's funny
What?
because I didn't know what it meant. Because I thought shit was like the shit,
Yeah,
like you're
So,
cool.
so how
And nigger
old,
shit must be like,
how old are you?
What?
oh, grade, I don't know, it's about 8 or 9, 9, 10.
Oh, okay. So high school.
Yeah.
No.
No, in
grade
primary
this is
school,
like
man.
Age 8.
No, so I was,
Age
no,
nine.
so I was,
Yeah.
so I was in like grade 3
Yeah,
or 4,
that's-
so 8 or 9.
Age 9.
That's.
Yeah.
I can't believe.
No, you can laugh because I didn't
not-
have a clue.
I'm
Listen,
fucking
all the
shocked,
snowflakes out there, whatever. No, don't be shocked. It was, I didn't know.
man. Honestly, we had one black guy in our, primary school, right? He went, he grew up with us. Fuck. Eventually he got the fucking nickname Hammer. You know what I mean? Like,
And why did they call
yeah,
him that?
exactly,
Sound-
exactly. I mean, yeah,
There's worse things to be called.
Anyway,
to be called.
I know what you're
nigger
saying.
shit
See, 'cause
in
I read-
grade 3. His name was Kevin. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, that's bad as well.
well, it's better than nigger shit. I'm sorry, I can't. Say
I
that
know
as
it
a
was
white guy,
rough
but
times,
like,
dude.
wow.
It was like the early '80s. Like MTV had just come out. There was a lot going on. So
Christ.
no, there was.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah. So I didn't know. So my dad's black and my mom's white. So you take prior knowledge and you put it together. I'm like, this shit, like shit, you're cool. And nigger shit, I'm like, that must mean you're like catastrophically cool. Because I don't know. And I'm on a team and I don't care. I got a nickname. Sweet. So I go home and I was talking to my dad and I told him. And I swear to you, he tore the house apart. And I'm just standing there. And it's like in a movie, you're just standing there and the whole world is just crumbling around you. I'm like, what happened?
I
I'm
was
like, what did I
struck down upon thee with great
With-
vengeance and fury.
Furious anger. Exactly.
You
And I'm going.
know.
And that's exactly right. So I'm going through the whole like Rolodex of what I'd said. Like I'm going through I said the. That's not a bad word. And I got to nigger. I'm like, I think that's the bad word. So I learned 2 things that day. Don't let people call you that, and don't tell your black dad because he'll get pissed.
Yes. All of a sudden, Chronicles of the Fourth Line became Django Unchained there.
There you go. No doubt.
Damn.
So, Summer, let's steer the chain back.
Okay.
So you
Well, all right.
Keep her going.
Well, let's go back to sports-related nicknames there. No. Well, like it's an interesting topic, right? Because
It is.
same deal, right? And I'm a guy. We're calling some dude Hammer, right? And he's going along with it, but who knows underneath it, right?
Yeah, it might hurt.
Fuck yeah, man. You're right. He's one guy amongst 300 other white kids. You know what I mean?
But the only kid that can use his unit as a kickstand.
Jesus, we just keep digging a hole.
Where did the hammer came from?
Oh my God! But I feel for him because when I was in high school,
Everybody was thinking it.
When I was in high school, I represented 33.3% of all the colored people in the school, and my brother and sister represented the other 66.6% of the colored people in the school.
Yeah.
And just to make it's funny because I grew up in a small town. I don't know what it is, but every time my dad saw a black person in town, he'd wave to them, and I'm like, "Do you know them?" I'm like, "Do you know them?" He's like, "No." So and I thought, why are you waving to them?
Would you get upset if they didn't wave back?
It never happened.
No, because they were way back. Yeah, exactly.
But I always wondered, I'm like, is there a code here I don't know about? And then I got to Toronto and my arms almost fell off because I'm waving my hands like, oh my God. What do you do with the Asian people? There's Indians over there. What do you do? All right, sorry, summertime.
Right, anyways, no. Yeah. Well, no, but let's put that one in the topic bucket list. Actually, is that I'd like.
Are we going to do it like an
We could do
an ethnic,
yeah,
racial episode?
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's dedicate an episode to all the black players that have played in the NHL. Right?
There you
the
go.
First one.
Yeah, we should do that.
And Punchy can start talking about kickstands and
That's right. Jesus. Are we going to throw
You know,
fried
if-
chicken in there too, or what?
yeah.
Oh, geez.
And how do you turn the lights off, you can't see them until they smile, that kind of stuff.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Here we go.
This is a new and improved podcast, folks.
Tongue in cheek.
That's right. Get an extra piece of chicken in the bucket tonight, boys and girls.
I'm gonna edit in a parental advisory sticker at the
Yeah,
front
no kidding.
of the show.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Back to nicknames here. We'll go back to sports talk. All right, so we'll run down. As I was collecting nicknames, I sort of noticed a bit of a trend here, apart from obviously being hockey, but the really, really good ones seem to have a number with them associated. And the really, really awesome ones were goalies. Goalies
Oh, yeah?
have the best nicknames. All right, so look, let's go through maybe just a couple, because I'm sure you guys have your list as well. But we've got, obviously,
I think this is going to be like a draft day, and I'm going to be marking off guys.
Yeah. Right, number 99, synonymous with hockey across the world.
Wolf
Everybody
Paymont.
knows the great one. That's right.
Wolf
That's
Paymont.
right. And whoever the other guy was. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
Right.
And then there's the magnificent one,
What do you mean? How did you forget Rick Dudley?
Dudley. Yeah, oh yeah, shit.
One season for
Dude.
the Jets.
Dude, he comes around all the time and he never
Yeah,
leaves.
yeah. Duddles.
Like, Rick Dudley he's the guy on the couch.
He leaves on Monday. The mustache leaves on Wednesday.
That's right.
The grade 8 was
Great.
right.
Yeah.
Grade 8,
Gotta
but
mark him off the
then
list now.
unfortunately, then Sid the Kid, right?
I
That's
know.
just like poor guy.
It's such a dated
Yeah,
nickname,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. What is he gonna be? Like?
Because you can't say Sid the Man.
No.
No.
Manly.
Like, it doesn't work.
No, you can't.
Like, who's your favorite player? I like Sid the Man.
Sit in the bib one day.
Oh,
Consistent Sid. Consisted. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
that
There's
works.
something there. He is consistent. Yeah. Anyways, fans, let's go in for a upgraded nickname
The
for
Cross.
Sid the Kid. The Cross.
Cross.
yeah, we'll get people to kind of dial that in.
Crier.
What is it? Well, he was, and I saw. But if you watch the Chicklets episode, he talked about that.
Yeah.
and he said,
it's true.
I was a dick, and he was like,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the pressure was insane for me coming in, and I was
no
taking
doubt.
it seriously, and
Fuck yeah.
I get it. Like, he's matured.
Oh, yeah.
He's still one of the best players in the league, and he's kind of quietly.
And he probably
You know?
was used to chirping the refs in junior and them not
Yeah.
saying nothing to him.
No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, no, he's definitely matured, and he's an amazing fucking player, man. He's so consistent. He's so amazing. All right, some of the funny ones, Biz Nasty, Big Buff. Okay, so let's get into some great ones here. I'll name one sort of cool, great one: the Pocket Rocket.
Yeah.
Henri Richard.
Yeah.
Henri.
Doesn't he have like 10 cups? He's like the Tom Brady of hockey, isn't he?
Yeah, there's a couple. Yes, I think he's got like more than 2 hands full.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
He's one of those guys.
Yeah, he's all like,
Yeah, like he's like Jacques Lemaire, and like there's a bunch of them are just
No, but he's got the most, though. He's got the
ridiculous.
most as a player,
I think you're right.
I'm pretty sure.
Right.
That's crazy. Like 11 or 12 cups or something stupid.
Nuts.
Yeah, it's
He
ridiculous.
got bored winning them. He's giving them.
Like my favorite one was the 6th one.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
The 9th was
Which one's your favorite?
The one on my
but
top.
Yeah.
The one on my
The
top.
13th one was all right. I don't remember the 11th one.
The first? What? Yeah.
I threw that in the garbage because it's like
I didn't
whatever.
earn it. Yeah. I was a
Yeah.
junior on the team.
I only scored 12 points in the playoffs, so useless.
I sold my third one to buy a house in Mexico.
Yeah. My dog wears the 7th one.
What about this
It's
one?
garbage.
I don't. Okay, maybe you guys can tell me where this comes from. Grapes. Good old Don Chiret. Where does grapes come?
See, I think it's weird. It's like obviously it's a playoff of his last name, Cherry.
Oh yeah.
I don't know because they dangle, and it's a fruit, and it's just. I always thought it was ironic or strange or not ironic, but he has a fruit last name, but they chose another fruit as the nickname.
Yeah.
Like you're always cherry, but you're grapes.
He's got. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. All right.
don't know.
Some cool goalie ones here. This one's probably my all-time favorite. Is the Dominator. Fuck.
That's a
was
beauty.
wicked name. And this is probably one of the. And I'm sorry because he's such an awesome dude and an amazing goalie, but probably one of the worst ones. This is the Flower. Terrible.
Yeah, it's stupid. I always thought when I think of Flurry, I think of snow.
That's right.
Like there's flurries. Like that's a Canadian sort of news weather thing. So like if he was like blizzard or something. Yeah, but
Like
flower.
Yep.
Guy,
Fleur
Boys?
is.
Boys.
but Guy Lafleur was the flower though.
Yes.
But that's
He's a
fleur. Fleur is a flower in French. That's the word.
Yeah.
Not fleur.
Yeah.
Fleur. But
Yeah, I know, it's
there's all
stupid.
day. Oh, it's the flower. Like I don't know. I guess he's going along with it. Again, maybe that's like just like the one black guy.
see, when I think of the
one
flower-
French
Yeah,
guy.
maybe he wants to be called like Renegade or like something tough. No, you're the flower. He's like, I don't want to be the flower.
Like when I think of the flower, though, our generation's flower and like kids younger than us, people younger than us, their generation of the flower is Flurry, right?
Yeah. But what about flurries from like McDonald's? Like that's maybe like Oreos and some Reese's
So
Pieces
hey,
in there.
I just looked up
That's
Don
better.
J, and I got the most amazing answer. It says Don J actually originally wanted to be called T-Bone.
Love it.
But someone else ordered a T-Bone during a lunch meeting, and the boss designated that guy the nickname T-Bone. So Grapes got upset. Then he visited a vineyard later on that day, and he looked at a grape, and his buddies started chanting "Grapes, grapes, grapes," and it stuck.
Excellent.
That's so amazing.
Because I don't know if I could watch Hockey Night in Canada, Coach's Corner with T-Bone. Ron McLean and T-Bone.
T-Bone.
No,
It'd be
it doesn't
amazing.
work.
Oh shit. Okay.
Coach's Corner with T-Bone.
I got a little bit of a quiz here for you guys. It's pretty
Do
easy.
you think
All
the
right.
song
I
was
think there's going to be
necessary?
lots of quizzes tonight, though, because I think there's going to be a bunch of those.
All right, I'm gonna name off some.
It's like we drafted a team, but it's just the best nicknames ever.
Yeah,
Right.
this is general sports. This is just general sports nicknames. So,
Okay. All right.
Oh, that's
okay,
good.
so I'm gonna name off the nickname. You tell me the real name and the sport for the extra point.
Punch is
Oh.
going to win this one. He
Okay.
knows this stuff.
All right, let me just get
Punch Man's going to get this.
Punch and Langer.
What Punchy's percentages? What is the percentage? How many percent am I going to get of your
You'll
question?
get 100% probably. Yeah,
You think so?
yeah.
Yeah, well, you follow sports. Here we go. I follow hockey, so.
Okay. Butterbean.
Boxing?
Yeah, boxing.
Yeah, 1 point for Langer. Can you give me a name for an extra point?
Oh, what, his real name?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, he's a real dude.
Yeah.
Why?
see him.
Yeah.
I don't want him to have
Yeah,
a
you
real name.
can see him, eh?
He punched at some guy in wrestling.
I remember
think it was-
in Jackass he knocked out Johnny Knoxville like a department.
Yeah, it was like a woman's department store, and he hit his head on the corner of that counter, concussed.
Yeah.
He can
Yeah.
hit. He's the real deal, Butterbean.
Oh, he's
yeah.
a beast.
Yeah. All right. Big Ben.
Ben Roethlisberger from the Steelers.
Boom. 2 points for Cam.
Okay, so it's not the clock in England and London.
Well,
Should we
that's,
buzz
Might
him
be.
here?
actually, that's
It's
1
sports,
point
though.
for Cam, so that's his name. The other one,
Yep.
What?
the sport.
He plays for the Steelers football.
Football. That's right.
American gridiron football
Gridiron.
from America for the Kiwis out there.
All right. Let's go with the Dream.
Hakeem from wrestling? Did you say that?
It's not wrestling, but
The African Dream, Hakeem, and he was the white guy that wore like the full African outfit?
man, that's another.
He's-
Okay, that's what's on the list is 80s wrestling. We got.
Yeah, we definitely.
Yeah,
got it.
well, it's on the list. We'll get
Okay,
there.
we'll go.
But the answer you're looking
The Dream?
for, Mr. Somerville, is Hakeem the Dream of Elijah.
Elijah Wan off of the Rockets.
Yes,
That's right. Played for the Raptors, I think, in a trade. I don't know
He
if he
did.
actually
He
played
did.
for the Raptors.
He
Did
did
he?
play for the Raptors. Yeah.
I'm giving you a split point
Yeah.
for that one since you sort of both came to the conclusion there.
Yeah, you can do it just like Whose Line It Is Anyway, and give out millions of
Million
points,
points.
and they don't mean
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, 5 million points each.
All right, next one is the Fridge.
Should we do hats?
Oh, William Perry?
Bam.
Chicago
Yeah.
Bears?
Yes.
See,
Well, because I remember the
You're doing good,
Chicago
buddy.
Bears shuffle. Remember the shuffle?
Oh yeah.
Super Bowl shuffle?
Yeah.
It had everybody in it?
Yeah. Was that him?
yeah, that
What was his name? McMahon?
Vince.
Mike Ditka,
Yeah, Mike Ditka.
Mike
Walter Payton.
Singletary, Walter Payton.
Yeah. 80s stuff, man. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
1985
All right.
Bears.
Last one
There we go.
here. Langer, you're leading by 1 point.
The Bears.
The Bears.
I'll cut that point in half.
The Bears.
I think I'm having a heart attack.
All right.
The Bears.
Got some Polish sashes stuck in his esophagus. Okay, what's the next question? I'm dying here.
AK-47.
Oh.
Oh, Jesus, is that a rapper? Is it a Russian?
I disconnected my headphones.
All right.
AK-47, that's violent.
AK-47, Cam.
AK-47 is Alexei Kevelenko from the Montreal Canadiens hockey.
Yeah, no.
No?
Oh, I thought it was a boxer?
It
Wait.
is a box.
Is it a boxer?
Yes, it is,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Langer,
We're in the right
1
house.
point, yeah.
Oh,
Can you give me a name?
So who is it?
No.
Andrei Kevelenko? Is that what you said, Punch?
It's Andre, but it's Kirilenko, yeah.
Kirilenko.
Kirillenko.
Not from the Montreal
Oh, he's a
Canadiens.
So
boxer,
wasn't-
though?
So it wasn't Ivan Drago from Rocky 4.
No.
You don't remember Drago from
I
Rocky 4?
remember.
He was
I
the
remember
Russian.
Ivan
I
Drago.
remember him, but
And then Flavor Flav married the girl in it, Bridget Nielsen, who was like the blonde Russian manager.
Flavor Flav.
How far away are we going from hockey when we start talking about Flavor Flav, man?
Dude, some of the
Oh my
clocks,
God.
some of the clocks he used to wear was so sick.
Oh, I learned to tell time watching Flavor Flav, man. All right, these are good. I like these questions. I feel smarter.
that was it. That was it. Yeah, Langer takes it 6-4. Congratulations.
Well, I'll split it 3 ways, and we can all
Nicole played a test.
have a time. Excellent. Excellent.
You win
Okay,
a
so
gold plate
Punchy can
test.
have it on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and sometimes can have it on Wednesdays and
Yes,
Sundays.
sir. So is that the end of the first period?
Cheers, boys. Good period.
That was a great period.
That was a bunch of good shifts, right?
I had a lot of fun not playing anything at all. That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Hindsight's
Love
that.
sitting on the pine. That's right.
Warm ups were so good. I'm pretty good. I'm good. I can last
Yeah.
2 more periods.
All right.
Best part
So
of
that's
hockey.
going to end the first.
Good hard.
Good one, boys. And this episode of Riding Pine is brought to you by.
The hockey house?
And on to the second period.
Texaco.
Texaco. Texaco.
Country style donuts.
Country style donuts. So
Dominion grocery stores.
So second period. So playing along with the nicknames, and since we kind of had it on a roll there, I got a little bit of a quiz too. I'm just going to throw 10 names out there, and you tell me who they are, and I'll try. I'll do my best to tell you a little bit.
Oh, this is like the smart podcast.
Yeah,
All right.
That's right.
It's not a smart one. A couple of them are easy. Grim
It's
Reaper.
okay. Hey, we're smart. Stu Grimson.
Number one, the Grim Reaper. So what can you tell the people about Stu, right?
When I see Stu Grimson, I see him playing for Anaheim and Nashville, and he just punched people in the face.
Yeah.
When your nickname is the Grim Reaper, I mean that, and as Summertime was saying, there's a lot of pressure. Like you're the angel of death,
That's right.
so you've got a lot to really live up to if you get out there to fight. Because if you lose, like someone can say, "I just beat death."
That's right.
Yeah.
I just punched death in the face and knocked him out and got 5 minutes.
So there's my first guy. The little ball of hate.
Oh,
I'll give you the team. I'll give you a couple teams that he's
you
played
give me the team, I'll get it.
Okay, so he was a whaler.
Pat Verbeek?
Yes, the little ball of hate.
Pat Verbeek. Played for the Devils.
Yes.
Wore a Christmas jersey with New Jersey.
The Eagle.
I didn't know that was his nickname.
Pat Verbeek. Yeah, Ray Ferraro talks about him quite a bit sometimes.
I found that one out today, too.
On Overdrive. So.
Oh, did you guys miss that one?
Yeah, totally.
The Eagle.
Oh, it's Eddie Belfour.
I know that one.
All right.
Yeah.
So, hold on. So, Ed Belfour got in trouble when he was in Dallas because he got super smashed at a bar. And the police were trying to restrain him. And he offered the police this is what he said, quote, $1 jillion to let him go. Not even anything reasonable. I will give you He showed up for his Hall of Fame induction in jeans and a leather jacket.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And no one could talk to him when he played because he was completely crazy. Love the ego.
Is that right?
The Beezer.
Rocky's favorite.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh, it's John Van Beesbrook, number 34. He's played for New York.
And Florida for a long time.
Yes, and everyone probably remember in Florida in that finals when Uwe Krupp scored on him in overtime.
Uwe.
Avalanche to win the cup.
Uwe.
And Uwe Krupp got in trouble because he was on injured reserve when he was playing for Colorado, and they found him in northern Minnesota racing dog sleds.
What?
Yeah, and they were like, and the team was like, "No, you can't be doing that because we're paying you, and you're injured."
Uwe.
And they found him in Minnesota on a dog sled. He got in trouble.
Uwe's been nutty.
Yeah, Uwe Krupp.
All right, so
Somerville, I'm serious, man. This is real. I don't know how I know this, but it's real stuff.
I had a feeling.
No one knows this.
I had a feeling if I came up with a list, you could tell me a little something about everybody.
Oh,
So
that's the life I'm living, man. That's how it is.
the Magic Man.
I know.
Who's the Magic Man?
Magic.
I know who that is.
That's what's his name from Talladega Nights.
No.
No.
You're not talking
No,
NASCAR.
I'm talking just
Plays for Detroit.
Yeah, Derek DeWalt.
Pavel Datsuk.
There you go.
There you go, Summer.
Yeah, no, I was watching a video of him earlier, actually.
Yeah.
He is Magic Man, Jesus.
This one's for Langer. The Cucumber.
Why is that for me? We were just talking about racist stuff,
Because he's a
and
goalie.
you're saying this now?
Because he's a goalie.
Oh, okay, it's hockey related.
Because he's a goalie.
The Cucumber?
The cucumber. How does that stop the puck? I just see this sort of. You're just lying there and not doing anything, and you don't taste like anything.
This is right. This is right in line with the little ball of hate. I had no idea that this was the guy's nickname, but he has a
Mike Liut.
He has a trophy named after him. It is the goaltending trophy.
William Jennings or George Vezina?
Yeah, George
Vezina?
George Vezina.
Played for Montreal way back in the day. No mask. Cricket pads.
Cucumber?
He was because he was cool. He was cool
Yeah, he
and
was
calm
the
like a
coolest-
cucumber. I
yeah.
know. Okay, I read that. I know
That's
that.
what it was. Cool, calm, and
That's the word. I do not want that. And that's a terrible nickname, by the way. But it might have been cool back in the 30s.
Speaking of the word you just said, terrible. That's this guy's nickname. Another old guy from way back.
Ted Lindsay?
Bingo.
There you go. He was the guy who started to spearhead the whole union in the NHL, and he got blacklisted because the owners ran the show back then, and to have some upstart player trying to have power, they didn't like that.
Yeah.
Check it out. He had a rough time at the end of his career. And there's an award named after him, of course. It used to be the Lester B. Pearson Trophy, I think.
Oh,
For
okay.
the the award voted by the players as the most
By the
valuable
players, yeah. What's it called now?
player. It's the Ted Lindsay Trophy. It used to be the Lester B. Pearson one.
Masterton? Is that the Masterton one?
No, that was
Oh no,
that's Perseverance.
yeah. That's right.
That was the Minnesota guy who died on the ice. He hit his head. Anyway, the Lindsay Trophy is, you can call it the McDavid Trophy now because that's pretty much who he is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know this stuff, and I don't know why, so I apologize.
See, one of my favorite NHL nicknames everybody knows is the Rocket, dude. You said the Pocket Rocket earlier, which is cool. But I think, like, when you think about NHL players, there's the great one, you know what I mean? Like you mentioned earlier, but, like, the Rocket, man. Like, you say the Rocket to any Canadian person, they know exactly who you're talking about. It doesn't matter how old they are. He is known as the Rocket. Like,
Dave Andrechuk, I know exactly what you're talking about. It was like a horse with 3 legs on the ice.
Dale Anderchuk as well, wasn't there? Right?
That's Howard Chuck, man.
Howard Chuck. Yes, okay.
Yeah.
He was called. He was. His nickname was Bucky.
Yeah,
I don't
Bucky.
know why, but
Yeah.
it was Bucky.
Yeah.
Played for the Cornwall Royals.
Cornwall Royals.
Awesome player. Some good Winnipeg teams. Unfortunately, he grew up in the 80s where, if you think about this, from 1983 until 1990, the Stanley Cup went through Alberta.
Yeah, true enough.
So in 83 was the first go-around with the Oilers, with the Islanders, and they lost. So the Cup was in Edmonton. At one point, the series was. They won it in 84, 85. Calgary won it in 86. Edmonton 87, 88. 89 was Calgary, and 90 was Edmonton. That's an incredible run. Almost a decade, that trophy was in Alberta. That's insane.
Didn't even leave. Yeah, that's amazing.
Insane.
We haven't seen it.
It was there.
It was right around the time where Edmonton was nicknamed the City of Champions.
Oh.
They had a statue of Wolf Paymont, number 99, at front of that rink there. Northlands Coliseum.
I think Winnipeg should put up one of Rick Dudley.
I think every small town in Canada should have a statue of Rick Dudley.
Okay.
Outside the Legion.
So I'm going to move along here in the second period. So we started talking about nicknames. And I kind of did something like similar to Somerville. I tried to think of every nickname I had ever in my life. And so obviously my name's Cameron. So my first nickname was Cam. Pretty simple. Everybody called me Cam when I was a kid. I'm sure there was a boy, come here, whatever, hey you, whatever, from mom, dad, whoever, right? And then the first nickname I ever got was Brutal Monkey Boy. Monkey Boy was my nickname, and I hated it.
Through high school? Or that was
Yeah, it's
No,
kind of like how I grew to hate nigger shit.
And similar.
Kind of grew on me that I didn't like that.
Felt like that. I felt like that for a while.
Yeah.
And then I got Greener from sports, right? Obviously, pretty simple. Last name's Green. Had Greener for a long time. Then I ended up getting RC, which was the Rapid Caveman. The Rapid Caveman, because people used to tell me I look like a monkey, and I was the Rapid. It was all because I made. So what happened was I had a birthday party in which I had done a monkey face, but my mom blew that up to wall size when all my buddies were there. So that's how I ended up being Monkey Boy. And I can still make the face to this day. I'll give
Thanks,
it to you
Mom.
quick.
Well, you got to do it.
Right.
That's all right. All right.
Okay.
Right?
Like a
Not
moshi,
bad.
like a moshishi.
Yeah, like a motion.
You know exactly what that is, though. Anyway, so you're graduating through nicknames.
And then after that, I got the nickname Bam Bam.
Right.
He
You're
gets,
picking up couches
he gets you with the
while your
zinger.
mom's vacuuming. Yeah. Granite couches with no pillows, and he's picking it up. Well, Betty's vacuuming underneath.
Yeah, with one arm.
I know. And you know what? How did they make a Flintstone movie and cast Rosie O'Donnell as Betty Rubble? Are you serious?
Yeah, I know.
Have you not seen the movie? Okay, well, just the image of this. So, Rosie O'Donnell as Betty Rubble. If you've watched the Flintstones, you know that doesn't work. That doesn't work at all.
You know, and if you've watched the Jetsons,
No, that was Wilma. Betty was
No.
the neighbor.
but if you've watched it,
The neighbor.
she was the neighbor.
Hot. And Barney was just nothing. Barney was nothing. Like, he was no
Like,
competition
Rick
at all.
Moranis,
Nothing.
perfect cat.
Exactly.
Perfect
Barney
cat.
was Rick Moranis, and
Perfect
vice
cat.
versa.
Yes.
Anyway, so back to the saga of your nickname.
Then I became Bam Bam. So I got Bam Bam from, well, that was Cam Neely's nickname, and a guy that I lived with for a long time who had one of the
Tough guy. He was a tough guy.
And the guy that I lived with in Calgary, he had one of the best nicknames. So his nickname was Shaggy. And he played, he was the backup goaltender for the Kitchener Rangers. Back
Oh,
in the day.
nice.
Yeah, he was the backup goaltender, played like 3 games a season. And, yeah, so he was a beauty. And he was a big Hextall fan, too, when you were talking about
Of course.
Hextall the other night. That's all I could think about was him. And so he's got another beauty. He gave me the nickname Bam Bam, which kind of stuck with me throughout most of my 20s. And then in my 30s, I ended up going back around the area where I was born in Niagara, and I was part of just like a team, like a slow pitch team. And just one night at a party, there was about 8 nicknames given out because we were ordering jerseys. So it was just a night of, we had a training or whatever, and then we went back, had a couple drinks at a barbecue and whatnot. And a bunch of nicknames came out of that one, including mine. So the French guy ended up being nicknamed as Hon. So that was just how you refer to
A
it.
grunt.
It's just
It's a
anything he said to you, you didn't have to reply. You just just all the time, and that was how you talk to him. And then another guy,
And that is how you talk to him.
that was how you address them. Like, hey, Key, how you doing? And that's it's just, or like if you're going to the corner and you need a pass, it's like, and it's just,
It's like if he was a pull toy and you pulled the string in the back.
and
That's what he would say.
it's just a little bit different every time.
Le petit français.
Oh, there were some good ones. So, and then that night, guy dropped an ice cube out of the fridge, stepped on it, wiped out. He became Greasy Feet. So people called him GF for short. So, and that stuck with him for years too.
So, like, when you see him and you're asking him for something, that's how you address him.
Yeah, there's 2 dudes. There's 2 guys from that night that ended up being GF and DT. DT's way better. So DT,
No, DP is way better.
but DT is not bad. It's a close second.
No, it's pretty good. Yeah,
It's a
that's
close
pretty good.
second once you figure out what DT means. So DT had been sitting there and he was telling everybody that he was hungry and went outside to the barbecue and he come back in with like the 2 most wrong, like overcooked hot dogs ever. Right? Unbelievable. Like totally nasty. And I'm
Like a black man's.
And I'm talking to DT, but this is just before he was named DT. So I'm talking to him, and I can see in behind him, and he's coming with these hot dogs, and he's coming up behind him, and I know what he's going to do. He's going to smash them all over his face in front of everybody to make everybody laugh. And I'm like, I'm in a conundrum. Like, do I want to see this because I know it's going to be funny, or do I tell him that somebody's behind him about to do this? So of course I do nothing. And
Like a true
and reaches around the front, catches him right in the mouth, and the first hot dog disappears, and he comes around with the other one, and the second hot dog disappears. And I'm just sitting there like, whoa. So he became Deep Throat. And we call him DT for short. And he ended up in my wedding party. and on the back of his jersey, it just says DT. And that's like one of the best nicknames I ever got. And then that night, like I said, we had a couple drinks. And I'm often told that when I get a little intoxicated that I mumble and slow down a bit. And was talking to me. and he said, hey man, like you're pretty punch drunk when you sound like Sylvester Stallone. Like you're pretty punch drunk. You're pretty
Hey yo.
You're pretty punchy when you have a couple, eh? And then that was it. I ended up with Punchy, and then when I moved to New Zealand, I ended up playing Gridiron here. And when I was playing Gridiron here, there's two other guys named Cam on the team, so I was like, just call me Punchy. And then it just stuck, and that's it. So that's
So it really stuck when you got to New Zealand, is what you're saying.
I got
that's
it.
interesting.
I got it within 6 months of moving here, and now there's a lot of people that know me as Punchy.
Yeah, so your identity really was sort of galvanized when you came here. So that's
cool.
It
was like by chance. Yeah.
That is like I'll ask Summertime this too. I mean, one of the things we have in common is we're expats.
Yeah.
And I think it's safe to say that we have a personality and an identity at home that's probably not the same as it is here. I know when I moved here, there was a lot of things. Just because of who I was growing up as Brownie, there were sides of me that I couldn't really show until I got away from home.
Yeah.
Like one of the biggest things for me was I loved music, but my friends always saw me as a hockey guy. So there's a whole world around sort of living and being a jock or a hockey guy.
Yeah.
Whereas my artistic side, my music side was something that was kind of couldn't show because it didn't jive with my friend group.
Yeah.
So when you leave, you can kind of reinvent yourself, but in a way that you can actually be yourself, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we're all kind of similar in that sense.
Well, I think that living abroad in any situation when you don't have a huge support system around you, it also takes away a lot of that pressure
Of course it does.
of having everybody around. So it makes it
Nobody
easier.
knows who you are.
Makes
So
it
who are
easier
you?
to find out some stuff about yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. That is
You know, and
something
I find that I live here that I'm actually who I am.
Yeah.
Because when I go home, I mean, it's almost a sort of I don't know about you guys, but it's almost a bit of a tug of war because there's an expectation of how my peers see me at home, my friends see me at home, but I've changed so much and I'm so much different. Like this is where I live. This is my life, you know?
It's weird to go home and feel like you're on vacation.
Yeah,
I mean?
it
when
is.
you go home,
It's good though.
Yeah. It's so
You still call it home. But you call it home.
I like
when
it,
you're
though.
here, but the minute you get there, you're calling here home.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
weird too.
It's usually a couple of weeks before I love going home and everyone's excited to see you and I love that.
Yeah.
And listeners, I love that. You know, and that's why I go home. It's good to feel missed and important and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's usually a couple of weeks where I start to think, you know, it's weird. It's like, but I don't live here. My life's
Yeah,
over
you
there.
miss your
You know?
life. Yeah.
Yeah, you miss your life.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, that's interesting about your nickname. You know, it's like your new place, a new identity. You know, you're reborn.
Yeah, well, the thing that I guess the reason why I kind of went that way though is it was very organic too. It was always people that I was around in that
It's
kind
the way
of
to live, man.
setting. Yeah,
It just happens, you know.
yeah. Things
It just grows.
it's the ebbs and flows of how things
That's
work.
right. That's right. That's cool.
And then while we're here, I just wanted to catch us up a little bit around the league. The
Great.
Goonettes. The Goonettes. There's a nickname.
That is a nickname.
Yeah.
A Goonette. Obviously, we know what a goon is.
It's a lady goon.
That's a nickname for a not so gentlemanly player. And the Goonettes played in their very first tournament over the weekend, over Easter weekend, as Somerville was saying at the beginning, he was playing some inline. The girls played to a 3-3 and won their first medal for the
They
league.
won a
So
necklace.
good shout out to them. We had some good nicknames on there. So Tears, Locks. We had Wicked Mitts, Speedster,
That's a good one.
Speedster, Jazz Jess, Hinny, Tui, Tears, and Parksy. And of course, Cupcake for getting it done and getting a medal. So
There you go.
Work.
shout out to them. And while we're here, my favorite guy, Somerville, 1-0, buddy. See you tomorrow.
Yeah.
What happened?
And, yeah.
Were you the gardien de but?
No.
Are you skating
I
around,
wasn't No.
Can't stop
I-
and just
fuck,
have to
yeah.
keep in motion the whole time.
No, it was a good game.
It
was really
a
good.
good game. Cam over
It was
here
a hard
got
game.
the fucking.
Oh, we're talking about the Ice League.
Yeah.
Hard
yeah.
game.
Tell us
Oh,
about
we
your
up
game
1-0 for
winner,
the
Cam.
Chiefs.
Go with the GW. Tell me, Cam, how did it feel?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
No, talk
Not too
to
bad.
me. Yeah, tell me how awesome it was when the puck popped out right onto your stick with nobody around. You just popped out.
Did you take an extra long shower at the end of the game?
I didn't have to do anything.
You
I probably
load
did,
your
actually.
pants. You're like, yay!
Yeah.
Made himself.
Did you use a jersey as a towel at the end of the game?
Why didn't you make yourself the first star?
What? I don't even
Should've
pick
made
them.
yourself the
Paulie
first star.
did.
Oh,
Paulie did.
Paul who?
Paulie Mack.
Paulie Mac.
Polly Mac.
Polly Mac.
Macaroni.
Paul
Sounds kind of
McCarron,
fake.
somebody.
Sounds like a fake
of course,
name.
yes, Paul McCarron. Yes.
Little bit fake sounding, bud.
Hey, I'll see you tomorrow night. Game 2.
All right, there you go.
And that
they go.
concludes the second period.
Fighting all the time in this league. Nothing but just Donnybrooks and
All day,
skirmishes. We in the third period already? Are you serious?
Yeah, Langer. Why
Oh
is
my god.
today's
problem.
hockey better, but not better hockey?
No, it's not better hockey.
Well, sometimes
But I
it's
play
better
net.
hockey.
No, it's not. Don't fool yourself.
I mean-
No. Is it? Tell me why it is.
Sometimes some games are like amazing to watch. You know, like you get like a good Vegas game and a good Colorado game.
I cannot believe you just led with a good Vegas game, dude. Are you kidding me?
Oh, they can. Man, they're a great team. They're really good, man. And so is Colorado.
They're,
I thought you were going to say so is Seattle.
yeah.
Anyways,
You know.
I mean, I've seen a few good games this year. Nice and fast, some good hits. You know, goalies don't always go down, but they mostly do. But you know, that's the style.
Well, I'll tell you right now because it's good. Because Punchy's told me he's kind of repositioned his thinking on goaltending. So right now, my two favorite goaltenders are Mike Smith, and I meant to mention this last week. He is the toughest and most entertaining goaltender to watch in the NHL today.
Someone told me that
there's
Mike
a-
Smith's just good at getting in the way. He's not a great goalie, but he
No,
just gets
he's-
in the way and then deals with everything that comes.
Because, again, goaltending is about stopping the puck. And when Mike Smith was playing against the Leafs the other day, they were talking about his technique. Who cares? Stop the puck. It doesn't matter how you do it.
Right.
It's like when a drug dealer tells somebody, I want my money. They're not telling you how to get your money. Just get it.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? So Mike Smith is like that. Just make the save. Don't care. He plays the puck. He doesn't know what he's doing. He'll fight somebody. Jack Campbell's pretty good. He made a 2-pad stack save, non-save on a 2-on-1 and it was a penalty killing thing. He got totally burnt, but it looked awesome because he was on his back and the pads were up, and it looked like he had done everything he could to make the save. When probably just the butterfly would have done, but it wasn't entertaining. All right, so I'm going to put the monocle on, and so what am I doing here? So we're talking about nicknames. So I'm going to go with... Okay, I got to start with this. I'm going to start with this here. So when I first came to New Zealand and I was watching rugby, I turned on the TV and I was watching the Auckland Fords versus the Waikato Fords. I thought, that's weird. And then next week it was Auckland Fords against the Canterbury Fords. I'm like, but why are they all called the Fords? Because there's a ginormous advertisement on the front of their jersey. I'm like, they have a logo, but you don't see it because there's a huge advertisement. Oh, that's terrible. Like, what is the nickname of this team? Because it's just a giant advertisement. I don't know. Listen, I don't know. Listen, we grew up in North America. The logo and the nickname is paramount, right?
Yeah.
And you look at soccer and rugby, and it's like, what is that?
Yeah.
There's so much crap on... Like, it's for me, it's not the Auckland Warriors or the New Zealand Warriors. It's the New Zealand Woodstock Bourbon and Cokes.
That's right.
Like, that's what it is. Well, it is, right? Like, what is that? Like, you know, we have names for teams, and what is that? So I got to get that out there, and people are going to be mad at me, and I don't care, whatever. So we've already talked about racism and guys with giant rods and stuff like that. So, so I got a few things here. So we're gonna have a quick quiz. I'm gonna do it at the end. So I'm gonna pull this out here first.
Right, let's do it.
So in the NHL, I mean, the team name is the nickname of the team. So you go to soccer, for example, and it's like the Liverpool Football Club, or you know, the Barcelona Strip Club, or whatever it is. It's like there's no team name, right? Like the to me, the logo doesn't mean anything. So what are the names in the NHL that aren't pluralized? The nickname names. Now, so think about it. So when I say plural, like there's an S on the end. So you guys tell me, what are those names?
There's only
right?
three of
So you
them.
got the Wild.
Is there three of them?
I don't know.
Minnesota Wild.
I don't know.
So Wild, Lightning, and Avalanche.
Mm-hmm. Is that it? We got three?
Yeah, boom. Lightning and Avalanche.
Yeah,
Dig deep. Go through all the divisions to be sure.
pretty sure.
Someone's going to write in and yell at us, so that's fine. That's what we want.
Pretty sure it's just three.
Okay, good. Okay, here's another one for you guys. I came up with 4 teams across professional North American sports that are named after the area or region that they play in. Like but it's actually not the city they play in.
Florida Panthers.
No, but Florida's a state, though.
Oh,
like
right.
it's something.
Oh, right.
So we're talking a region.
Yeah, okay.
So I came up with 2 hockey teams. Punchy is thinking hard. I can smell it. So I got a football. Here's what I got. I got a basketball team, a football team, and 2 hockey teams that are named after regions.
So the basketball team is the Golden State Warriors.
Yes. So the Golden State Warriors, because that's San Francisco Bay Area.
Okay. So
That's
how
one.
how many football teams is there?
I got 1.
New England.
1 football team. Seattle.
New England Patriots.
Oh, New England, yeah.
Yep. And I got 2 hockey teams.
2 hockey teams.
Mm-hmm.
Is one New York?
Florida.
No. But you're kind of close.
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's a region.
That's right. Yeah.
Tampa's a city.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay represents the region they play in.
That's
So there's
right.
one other hockey team.
Florida. Yeah, that's right. It is
Yeah.
Tampa Bay.
There's one other hockey team
One other
the
hockey team.
for the American fans out there.
Is it New Jersey? No.
See, the best part is the clue is on the screen right now. If you look on the screen, there's 3 of us sitting there, and if you put it together, you'll figure it out.
Ottawa.
It's not Ottawa. It's not Montreal.
Well, you're getting closer.
Montreal.
Getting close. Getting colder, man. Go with Ottawa. Who likes the Ottawa Senators?
Ottawa.
Who likes the Ottawa Senators? But who's wearing a shirt? Who likes
Oh.
Ottawa?
Hartford. Jesus.
And where did they go to?
Carolina.
Carolina. There's North and South Carolina. They're kind of a region, right?
Okay, good connecting the dots.
That was a
That's
good
a
one.
greasy, kind of a
good one.
greasy question.
at
Okay,
the-
so here's the big one. No, go on.
I'm looking at the Senators jersey.
I'm not
I was
playing,
like,
so
oh,
yeah.
I like Senators. Oh, it's my jersey. Oh, it's Hartford. But where did they go? Oh, they went
Yeah.
to Carolina. That's quite the little trail, man. The bread.
Tick, tick, tick. I can't tell you the answer.
6
I'll
degrees
guide you
are
to the answer.
He's a teacher. He's teaching us.
It's a teaching, but yeah, Wani will know all about that.
That's right.
He'll know all about it. You can't live your life any other way.
Got school.
Mm-hmm. No, you learned.
That's right.
You learned today. All right, so I got another one here. You're right, buddy. All right, so I was thinking about
Today.
you're gonna learn today.
They used to call him Hammer too.
Love that. Learn today. So before I get to the quiz here, I was thinking about local teams' nicknames. Because I'm obviously going to get to the NHL ones, and you can quiz me on this. But just the junior teams, like where do the names come from? And they're all quite interesting. So you throw some names in now. So the Ottawa 67s, where does that come from?
Well, I thought they started in '67, so they were called the '67s. That's what I understand, but that could be factually incorrect.
So are you talking 1967 or 1867?
19, I think it was.
Yeah. So from what I know, and I didn't do any research from just growing up and not paying attention in French class or science or anything that's important.
That's right.
So it's linked to the Confederation of 1867, right? It's Ottawa, capital of Canada,
Right.
67s. Confederation. There you go.
Oh, okay.
So the Pete's is interesting, and I
Federation, like what? We be
when Canada became a country and independent of Great Britain,
Britain.
Yeah.
Okay.
which was years after New Zealand did. New Zealand got their independence but people are going to get mad. But I'm like, it's kind of a long way to get in a boat to come down here to see what's going on. So it's like, you guys sweet down there? You can govern yourselves. You guys are sweet.
That's right.
We'll come down and pick up a few cases of beer, a couple of coolers full of lamb, do a haka, check out a rugby game, have a pie, and if you guys are good, we're heading out.
Man, I had a fucking pie today, and man, I burnt the fucking roof of my mouth right off.
Oh,
God
was it a
damn.
bakery pie or was it a grocery store
was,
pie?
It was a
Or was it straight out of the window, the slidey window
it was
thing?
straight out of the window, man. Yeah.
Oh,
It was,
bakery pie, eh?
Dairy, the local dairy. But man,
Oh, dairy.
What were your thoughts on that when you? Because that's local cuisine, right?
I thought it was like speed food because like back home, meat pie takes like 45 minutes to make.
But did you ever have a meat pie like on a plate with other stuff on the plate?
yes.
Like, was it part of a dinner?
Yeah.
Yeah, for me it was.
Well, it usually
there'd be some,
meat
like-
pie usually took like 45 minutes to cook.
Yeah,
in
right.
the oven.
Great.
You don't,
There'd be like those carrot
you don't
cubes and
microwave
like,
it in 3 minutes like that.
like some green beans or something.
Like when I first moved here, I was like, when I first moved here and realized, like, have you ever noticed, like, on the packages for food here, that like every package for food in New Zealand that you look at has like stovetop directions and microwave directions.
That's right.
Like
Of
half
course
of
they
the
do.
stuff that you put in the microwave, like, shouldn't go in the microwave. There should not be microwave directions.
No.
Like mashed potatoes should not have microwave directions. Like there's certain things that just anyways.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I know what you mean.
sidetracked.
I remember. So we're going real back. We're deep now.
Yeah,
so I remember
yeah,
real deep. So I remember my grandparents getting a microwave in like 1987, and like of course this is a nuclear reactor that you have on your countertop in your kitchen, right? Like don't stay in front of it.
No,
But I remember
seen
seeing
one
all
before.
those like what are those shows? Like those home shopping things and infomercials, and they talk about how you can cook chicken and bacon and
Are
stuff.
you
in the
sitting on the
cooking-
couch? You need one of these.
You need to cook a chicken in the microwave.
That's right. Yeah.
Like all a microwave is you just heat stuff up. That's all people use it for now. It has no use. But at the time, it was like there's a bacon wave. It was
Oh,
like
you can
a
cook a
tray you
full
put bacon
meal.
on, and
You can cook steak with fresh veggies.
You could. Hey, throw me a ladder, because I got to get out of this hole here. Chuck me a ladder. Where are we? I got to get out of this hole. We're talking about microwaves now. Okay, so get out of the microwave. What are we talking about? Pizzas and
Let's get out of the kitchen.
Putting cutlery in the microwave. What are we talking about?
I don't remember.
Anyways, I think I was trying to talk about junior hockey team names.
Nicknames.
Let's go back to that. Right.
Nicknames.
So the 67s, it's related. Wow, that was deep, eh? That was deep.
I'm gonna have to watch.
Just dark. I was down there in the microwave with a cheese sandwich. I'm like, where are we? What's going on down here?
Independent.
Okay. All right. So we're back up to the surface now. We're breathing again. So OHL teams are interesting because they're always linked to their community. So 67 is obviously the capital. So throw another one out there, and I'll see what I can do for you.
All
All right. Calgary.
Like the state, the city. Okay, we're gonna get to NHL in a second.
Oh no, Hitman.
Oh, that was Brett Hitman Hart because the Hart family's from Calgary. Are you gonna answer that?
Hold on.
Yes.
I found
you didn't know that?
No.
Wait.
No.
Yes, dude.
You didn't know that Calgary Hitmen were called the...
It's Brett Hitman Hart.
Brett Hitman Hart owns the team, dude.
Because that's why they wear pink and black to match his outfit in wrestling.
I thought you were being sarcastic, dude. Really? You didn't know that?
You're looking at me telling me that. You're looking at the wrong person.
I remember going to the Saddle Dome, and I was in the merch. I went to see Getzlaff play.
Oh yeah.
I went to see Getzlaff play, and I was in the merch booth, and Brett the Hitman Hart walked by, and I nearly shat myself.
You nearly gave him a sharpshooter.
We that for the 80s wrestling.
Yeah. Okay.
Episode.
Hold on to that one.
I will hold on.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Dude.
I remember where we got lost when we ended up on microwaves. I want to know. I want to know the Peterborough Pete's. I want to know.
And I knew you would, so I'm going to tell you a story about this.
Here we go. Give me the.
So I've always been confused by the Pete's. Now the Pats, I was Regina Pats. I thought okay, and I found that was a regiment. It was named after I think Princess Patricia. And her name is Regina, but we call her Regina. And I had a guy when I was in grade 7, and we had a geography test at the capitals of Canada. And I told him pre-test, do not write down vagina, because I know that's what you think. And we laughed about it, and he got the test back. He got it wrong, and he wrote vagina. And he was choked, because this was back in the day where you had to take the test home and have it signed by your parents. And he knew his parents were going to kill him because he wrote vagina on a geography test.
What was his name?
All right, so the Pete's. No, that was Scott Calder.
What was his name?
I don't know. They weren't invented back then. It was primary school. We just went by our given names. So the Pete's. So the Pete's. So... one of the cool things about junior hockey teams in Ontario, I don't know about the Western Quebec League, but they were all affiliated at one point with NHL teams. So Oshawa was affiliated with Boston. That's why Bobby Orr was in Oshawa. But the Petes were affiliated with Montreal Canadiens. So their original jerseys were the Montreal Canadiens jerseys with a crest on the front that said TPT, so the Toronto Peterborough Transport Company.
Huh.
So they were that team this was in the 50s up until the early 60s, and they dropped it down to TPT, just the letters. So from what I've read over the years, I can't find the reason why they were called the Petes, but the best thing I can come up with is sort of a slurring of the letters. So you get the TPTs or the PTs, so the Petes. So that's as close as I've and I've looked around for years trying to figure this out. I mean, as an alliteration, it's good, like the Peterborough Petes.
I'm so undersatisfied here.
It's the best I can do.
I thought it was going to be like some dude named Pete that did some crazy, awesome stuff. No, it's a mumble.
It is.
It's just a mumble.
And the mascots.
Pete's. Yeah, that sounds good.
I know.
That's awesome.
I don't know.
I would love that to be like their third jersey, just a bunch of mumbles.
Just a question mark on the front crest.
Just,
Oh, man. I watched the new Mighty Ducks. Like,
The series? Are you watching that?
man, well, I put it on with the kids, well, the younger ones, anyways, and yeah, they have the Don't Bothers. Anyways,
Yeah,
I saw that.
I watched it.
I
I see where they're going. I see where they're going. My daughter loves it.
yeah.
So Dylan Playfair's in it. I saw Dylan Playfair, I think he plays Jonesy in.
He's like the
Letterkenny.
So he's like the badass coach.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
he's in
like-
Letterkenny.
So
he's
it-
the hockey guy in Letterkenny.
I guess it's kind of neat because like what is it? Like I don't know. The Ducks are like the big.
He's
team.
the only guy that can really skate in all of
And
it.
it's like,
Yeah.
and it's like 20 years on. It's like 20 years on. It's set 20 years on or whatever. And the Ducks are.
Is
Like,
Gordon Bombay in it? Because I think
yes,
I saw him
he
in the
is.
picture.
He is. So like, it's
Has he cleaned his life up? Because he was drinking a lot in the first one.
not quite. We're 2 Eppies in. I've watched.
It was
both.
community service, man. in Mighty
Yeah.
Ducks one.
Okay. So now
He didn't care.
So now he's
He didn't
retired.
care about those boys.
Now he's retired and he doesn't give a crap about hockey anymore again.
So he's drunk again.
And he's just driving his Zamboni once, twice a week, and he's renting out the property to this chick because she thinks she's going to start a hockey team. And they suck balls, just like the first Mighty Ducks. But they're called the Don't Bothers because because the dude from Letterkenny told them
God.
that if you haven't made it by the time you're 11, don't bother.
Don't bother.
So they're called the Don't Bothers. But yeah, it's interesting. You watched it. Did you watch both episodes? Or did you
No,
not watch?
I just feel sad when I see that because Gordon Bombay had problems and he won. I don't think they solved his problems. I don't think winning a little league hockey championship is going to solve your alcoholism. But it kind of like made it seem that way for 90 minutes.
Well,
So
actually-
I don't think I can circle back on
It's
that.
actually it's actually pretty funny because in this one, in the first episode, he's like worse than like I don't know. He's worse than an alcoholic. He's like eating people's like spare
So he's-
food.
Yeah.
Like,
So he's a drug addict and a homeless
No,
person.
no, like he owns he owns a rink and he like
So he's
I-
sucking cock for pucks.
No, but I found this funny in the show. So he owns a rink and he's renting out the rink and it's like a birthday party and they leave and he just like for the rest of the show every time you see him he's just like
Got the
holding the
cake.
plate. He's holding the birthday cake and he's just hammering it with a fork as he's walking around delivering his lines.
Crushing it.
Yeah. And it made me think of a story that you once told me about hiding a chocolate cake under your bed.
Yes,
For the
I will
next
tell that
story.
story. So I stayed in this house with a bunch of buddies, 519 Montcalm. We had a pool. We had this greasy guy who owned the house. He was a car salesman. His nickname was Biddy. And he smoked like like a chimney. And so my good buddy, his parents, he'd go to their house for Sunday lunch or dinner all the time. And he came back with this whole cake. So we're like in the throes of just ripping bowls and
Yeah.
just having a time, right? And he walked in the house, and I red-eyed. I walked up and I said, "Go put that in your room under your bed, and don't ask any questions." And so he did, and we went down to the basement and we watched Sports Center, and had a time. And then it was the Munchies came on, and I said, "You know what, dude? If you go upstairs to your bedroom and look under your bed,
You're
you're gonna find a nice surprise. You will find a nice surprise." And he was the happiest person I'd ever seen in my life up to that point. Because there was a whole cake under his bed. All right, so junior team. So Oshawa Generals. Do you know why they're called the Generals?
Confederate relations.
Racism. Love it.
Better relations.
I love the angle tonight. Just absolutely awesome. No, that's not why they're called the
That's
Generals.
good. That's good. Okay.
No, that's good. Okay, so
Oh, I
it
totally
was our.
thought it was.
It's a cool military thing, right?
So R.A. McLaughlin, I believe, was the guy who started General Motors and put up the plant in Oshawa.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
That makes
yeah,
sense.
So the Generals, General Motors.
Cool. All
There you
right. Okay. That's cool.
All right.
So
Yeah,
they're like the
it's
Fords,
related
only
to the
different
city.
different car companies.
Yes, that's right. It's like all 6 New Zealand teams being the Fords. The great marketing, boys and girls. Awesome. As a new fan of the sport, I can totally get behind this.
The GM. Did you grow up with a GM plant around your house? Because I had 2 in my city.
GM plant. No, we had a canoe museum, and I think we had one Burger King, and that was it. It was on the other side of town.
Wow.
One. It was on the other side of town, though. I never went there.
Yeah, right, okay.
And they had Fanta. I remember they had Fanta, and then when I came here, I was like, they have Fanta. I haven't seen that since I was like 5. That's where it went.
Right.
We
Awesome.
I've caught up with you.
I found
That's
you.
right.
We had a McDonald's and 3 veterinary hospitals on the same street, and I was always wondering.
So I'm sorry, this is great. So I watched this show the other day. Do you remember when McDonald's was all about kids and they had the McDonald Land playground?
Oh, yeah, and the caboose.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, it's,
Not like now with the slides and stuff. It was outside, and it was the
Yeah,
characters.
yeah.
There was like Grimace and like the Hamburglar
yeah, Grimace was like
and
the
that creepy
slide,
pirate.
and, yeah.
Creepy pirate.
and like Mayor McCheese and like Officer Big Mac.
That's right. Oh,
Hardcore
Officer
stuff.
Big Mac. Wow.
Officer Big Mac. Remember him? He had the Big Mac head and the like the cop uniform.
I could picture what he looks like.
What does he do to you if he arrests you? What does he do?
You get a Big Mac, maybe, I guess.
Oh my God, funny Big Mac story.
What does that mean, though? You get a Big Mac? Is that really what you get, or is it something sinister? Who knows? Anyway, that's great stuff. So, okay, we're getting back to talk here. So, the team nicknames. So, we're just circle back. So, you look at other sports, their nicknames are some sponsor, or it's, Toshiba or nothing or whatever. So, the thing I love about the NHL is their logos and the nicknames of the teams are prominent and they're distinctive. Yeah. And I have a sense of pride why I love hockey, because our uniforms and our nicknames are front and center. They define the team. They are sacred, and you can't mess around with them. And we're not the Toronto Toshibas or the Ottawa Blackberries or something stupid. You know what I mean? Like, it's real stuff. So, throw it at me. Listen, I didn't do any research. I just know stuff because I didn't have many friends growing up, and this is what I've got. So, throw it at me. NHL team nicknames. Giver.
NHL team nicknames are some of the best. So you want us to throw some out at you right now?
Yep. I'll tell you a story about it. Go ahead.
Oh my gosh. Okay. The Blues, St. Louis Blues.
So there was a song called the St. Louis Blues. And St. Louis is known for their jazz and blues music, but the name is derived from a song called the St. Louis Blues. And that's why they have the name. And they almost moved to Saskatoon in 1983. They didn't have a draft pick that year because the guy who bought them wanted to move them to Saskatoon. And at the last second, the league blocked it. And because of the problems, they forfeited their first-round draft pick that year. So if you go back to St. Louis Blues history, they didn't have a pick because they almost moved to running back to Saskatoon. The Guess Who, great song.
That's a big price to pay for one of them.
Punch, are you satisfied with that answer?
Jeez.
Did you know that?
Sure, I'm more than satisfied.
Let's go with this one, then. Minnesota Wild.
That was a contest because obviously it was the North Stars when they moved to Dallas, which works because they're the Lone Star State, so Dallas Stars. But that was a contest, and Wild came up. Love the logo. I think the logo is awesome. Super creative.
It's growing on me.
But they haven't figured out the color scheme because they look like Christmas time.
I share the sentiment with Somerville too. It's grown on me. When I first saw it, I didn't understand it.
Like
but when you see it, it's
North Star's color, like the reverse retro.
I know, perfect.
Winner, man.
I know. Do that. Good. Get rid of the red.
Yeah.
And do that.
Yeah.
Minnesota has their colors. Like, I don't know why they don't do that. All right, throw another one at me. I'm excited. I'm wearing a Rogie Vachon jersey. I don't even know why he's called Rogie. That's his nickname.
I see
Don't even know.
He had a
goaltender.
He's another one of those fabulous mustache guys.
Took him like 70 years to get in the Hall of Fame.
Okay, so,
anyway, come on.
I'm going to go with the Calgary Flames.
Well, what do you know about Calgary? I'll throw that at you guys.
I know that they used to be in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
But they were the Flames beforehand.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And do you know why they were called the Atlanta Flames?
No, that's why I asked you.
So during the Civil War, the Union Army, which was the Northern Army in the States, went down and they burned Atlanta. So they burned the whole city to the ground. So the Atlanta Flames is a homage to the burning of the city of Atlanta during the Civil War.
Ooh.
And how awesome it was when they had the assistant captain logo and it was the Atlanta Flames logo.
Yeah.
And then the captain was the Calgary logo.
Yeah.
That was so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
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 I like that.
And of course, for the guys that don't know, that's Calgary had 2 teams, or Atlanta had 2 teams, and both of them couldn't stick in
That's
Atlanta.
right.
No.
Yeah.
Fail.
Yeah.
It's getting hot in
All
here.
right. Go with the Thrashers then.
Ooh.
That's the state bird.
Oh, yeah.
called a thrasher.
Okay. Really? Yeah.
Yeah,
Ah. Fuck.
I think when I remember somebody
it's
saying
like-
that
Somebody
it's like
Googling
Georgia
this stuff.
peaches
I
were
need
like-
someone Googling this stuff, and I need someone to write in and tell me, is
Dude,
this actual facts, or is Langer...
yeah, well, that's
I
what I
le-
want. See,
I lent him this book not too long ago, and I've read a lot of this stuff too. So he's legit.
but I knew that. And listen, what I want to say about this is, I might not be 100% right, but if I'm saying something that's interesting and it encourages you to go look it up and learn it, well, that's what
You've won.
this is what the show is all about. This show is all about learning and education. So anyway, throw me another one. Okay, let's go.
I'm gonna stick in Canada, and we'll go with the Canucks.
Well, it's based on the whole sort of Canadian version of Captain America, the sort of Uncle Sam character, so Johnny Canuck. So that's where that came from.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Which is a great secondary logo. Like they need to do.
It should
Well,
be
the
the
cast
don't you
stores
think it
have it.
should-
It's awesome.
Don't you think it should be the primary logo?
What, the C with
A
the
lumberjack.
hockey?
The Johnny
Oh,
Canuck. The Johnny Canuck.
Yeah, the lumberjack. It's the cast stores
That
logo.
weird stick.
Really?
Yeah.
Because the cast stores logo
Yeah.
and the Trappers logo was Johnny Canuck.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, keep going. Keep
Oh,
going.
jeez, okay.
It's like Toronto Maple Leafs.
Conn Smythe, he was in charge of regiment in World War One, and of course the maple leaf was the symbol of the Canadian soldiers, and so he brought that back and wanted to make the team into the Maple Leafs after they were the St. Pat's, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the Arenas before that, but yeah. So that was, and it went with the rebranding of the Maple Leafs went with the opening of Maple Leaf Gardens in 1932, I think.
Yeah,
So
that's right. Eh?
it was a full-on big show in Toronto. In Toronto.
Dallas.
Come on, keep going, boys.
Holy
Lone Star
cow.
State.
Did that? Yeah, sorry.
Dallas Stars.
Damn. Redo.
Dallas Stars. No, I don't want to know about them.
Lone Star State. Come on.
Oh, Carolina.
Chicago Blackhawks.
Another military homage. The initial owner was in World War One, and his company he was with were called the Blackhawks. And I don't think it was until the 1980s that the Blackhawks became one word, because it used to be 2 words, Blackhawks.
All right.
Florida Panthers.
You know,
No, wait. Before we move,
that was a rare, almost extinct cat in Florida, the Florida Panther.
oh, right. Yeah,
What?
Of course it was.
man.
I'm just.
Okay.
Or it was a 43-year-old woman who hung out down at the old
You call them
at
Panther.
Barracudas down by the wharf.
Down by the wharf.
That's right. She never paid for a drink.
No, the Panthers. Let me
And when you shook me all night long came on the stereo, she was dancing,
see. She was dancing better than
She was-
anybody else.
dancing. That's right. She loves that song. Loves it.
So what about you, man? What was your nickname though? Like I know that I gave you the nickname Lion, but what else, like
Yeah.
what do you think of that nickname? Because that one is like in talking to each other, like I found out, like I just started calling you that because I just figured out a way to adjust your last name, kind of how like everybody does. Like most hockey players, like if you're, I was green, so it was greener.
Yeah.
Your
It's just a no-brainer.
Burns. Your
To be honest, it was kind of like an adjustment because I never
Anybody
never
ever
had a
specify
nickname
your
like
Last name?
No, never. Like it was always my ethnicity. so it was never.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool. It took me a while to kind of get to it, and the
Like
thing
the
that kind of made me,
Brian.
yeah, brownie or
There had to be something in there, yeah. Dicks.
But it was. I think that when it kind of realized that it was a thing was when the other guys in the parking lot hockey started calling me Langer.
Yeah.
Or they didn't know my name because they knew I was Langer.
Yeah, I didn't
I
know
love
your
that as
name
you
was
see it
Ryan.
over your shoulder
for-
there
for a
that
bit.
you added the l'accent to the top of
Yeah.
this. So it's
Accent
actually
gauche.
Lange.
The Langer.
Lange.
Yeah, that's great.
But Langer's Lounge, man. That, you know.
Yeah, no, it's good. It took me a while to kind of go, well, I guess that's who I am. But I guess with the nickname, you're like, is that who I want to be? But I think with a nickname, you don't choose that. It's like, that's who you are.
Yeah, and you
Like,
grow,
the people have spoken,
and you grow into it.
Yeah. So you accept it and kind of embrace it and go, well, that's, you're Punchy, I'm Langer in summertime. I don't know where he went.
I was gonna say, it seems like every game, like me and you.
I
get
hope
stuck
something
on,
horrible hasn't happened to him.
No, but like
some
me
sort
and
of-
you always get stuck on the bench, and like the coach always looks down here, and fucking they always take Somerville. It's got to be.
Yeah, I know. Well, he's better, and I'm just opening the door, so I'm not. I'm not playing anyway. I don't mind.
I'm starting to think that he's judging us.
No, he's coming. He's probably running around the garage.
What's the
Anyway, so the NHL, the nicknames, I think is. I just want to get back to that because I think it's important. I always am fascinated when there's a new team and they're talking about what the nickname's going to be, like the Mighty Ducks. Like it's kind of, to me, it kind of reminded me of the Raptors because the Mighty Ducks was linked to the movie. It's linked to Disney, and it just seems like there's no longevity or, the Raptors was linked to Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I know.
It's like what.
Dude,
what's the integrity in that?
I remember that too. Like being in Southern Ontario, like I remember when they were trying to nickname the Raptors, and it was like I remember doing a submission. I didn't draw.
Yeah?
I didn't draw anything, but I think I probably did as a kid because that was like '92. So I think I was I was like my early teens, and I was into basketball at the time, and I put in the Towers. I always thought they should be called the Toronto Towers.
That's a great name.
Right? And it made sense.
It's obvious.
It made sense.
Makes sense.
Basketball, everybody's fucking tall. There's a big ass
CN Tower.
Yeah, there's a tower.
Yeah,
in the middle of
it's,
tower,
it's
but
mint.
Toronto
I like the
Towers
Raps.
just made sense.
Logo now.
Look, I like.
Yeah, it
like
took them
the
a while to figure it
basketball-
out.
The basketball with the claw, that's
Yeah, their logo is sick.
And,
That's so cool.
And I
Simple
love
and
that
cool.
I love that they went to Team Canada colors.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
They
right,
got
yeah.
away from the gay purple that
Yeah.
the Vince Carter era.
But that's interesting that you mentioned that because there was a time when the Blue Jays started designing their logo and their uniforms to market to Canada. Do you remember they had their hat had the maple leaf on it with so
Yes,
I have
yes,
that. I
yes.
have,
yeah,
their logo itself has the maple leaf
Yeah,
on it.
yeah, it does.
no, but they had a
But they
T
started
with
to
like
use
a.
it more predominantly.
Yeah. It was
But
a
they
T with a
started
little
mucking
maple
around
leaf.
with it, and I was wondering because even with the Raptors when they started kind of changing, it's like is that a sign that the team's failing and they need to market it to try and. I mean,
Well,
I remember
I think
thinking at one
that
point the
they're
Jays were going to
trying to
move cities because. Sorry, I remember thinking the Jays were going to move town when they started rebranding them and making them look more Canadian. Because, I mean, that appeals to us, right?
Mm.
And it's like, is that their last gasp to keep them in Canada before they move them like Montreal to the States?
I think with the Blue Jays though, they had to try a couple adjustments, right? Because I remember they had a whole marketing campaign for a couple of years there, where they just killed the blue, so it was just Jays,
Yes.
the Toronto
It
Jays.
was black with the Jays thing, and they were
weren't
really trying to
actually called
almost
the Blue
mute.
Jays there for a couple of years. Yeah, and they changed, and like you were saying, they changed the logo to a T.
Yeah, they were kind of mute the Canada side to make it sort of generic. And I thought they were trying to sell the team. And then they went full Canada with the maple leaf. And then, I mean, we all know the original logo is awesome because
Yeah, it is.
You know,
I'm
it's-
glad that they kind of went back to it. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
I mean, they won 2 World Series under that logo, and it's kind of shitty in the 70s, and it's awesome because that's what we know.
that's right.
Joe, touch them all, Joe.
You want to
Touch
throw
'em
another
all.
NHL at me?
I
Logo?
get-
I'm
I
surprised
get-
you're
you know what?
not burying me with questions about logos and nicknames.
Man, I got more nicknames I could throw at you. Who's the killer?
It's Doug Gilmour.
God darn right it is. All right. Who is Fopa?
Faux pas. It's a
Faux
mistake,
pas.
isn't it?
Faux pas.
I don't know.
Pete that at Forsberg. Faux pas.
Oh, yes, faux pas.
The Boulin Wall.
Happy Boolin.
Yeah,
Nikolai.
Cabby Boolin.
Big Bird.
I would love, that's Larry Robinson, I would love a Winnipeg Jets Cabby Boolin jersey because when he played there. Big Bird, that's Larry Robinson.
Who is Mr. Zero?
Oh,
Frank Brimzik.
I was going to say it's a goalie.
Yeah.
And it's old school goalie, Frank Brimsick.
Old school goalie had
Old school.
40 shutouts in one.
Before the
two.
color television.
Yeah.
Did you see that stat I sent you about Grant Fuhr in 83,
Yes.
84 with his 14 assists?
Yeah.
Yes.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah, that is insane.
14 assists?
As if.
Yeah, that's.
Wow.
Right.
Talk about a powerhouse
Yeah.
when
Was
your
it-
goalie has 14 assists
Was that
in 45 games.
that's
That's
pretty
insane.
much just stopping the puck for Gretzky, isn't it?
Well, he say in interviews, he's like, all I had to do was get it to Paul Coffey.
Oh yeah, sure.
Stop the puck, give it to Paul Coffey. Wayne and some other guys are down there. It's going in the net.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
Just hope it doesn't. How many?
It's not rocket appliances.
How many third assists do you think he had there too?
Yeah.
Who's the next one?
Eric Lindros.
Who's the Golden Jet?
That's Bobby Hall.
Who's the Golden Brett?
His
Brett Hall.
son.
Yeah.
Barry Hall.
The Tiger?
Williams. David Williams.
Cujo? That one's easy.
Curtis Joseph.
The Finnish Flash?
Oh,
Teemu Selane. Solani.
Selene.
Timu.
The Magnificent One?
Scott Gomez.
That's right.
Yes.
No, wait. Sorry.
Okay, here's a couple. Here's
Scored one goal in like 4 seasons in
here's
Montreal.
two tough ones to finish it off. Boom Boom.
Jeffrey O.
Yes, Boom Boom Jeffrey Owen.
Won a zillion cups in Montreal back in the day.
Yeah. And who was Mr. Goalie?
Glenn Hall, number 1. Chicago Blackhawks play for the St. Louis Blues.
Darn tootin' me.
Glenn Hall. He used to go into the room and puke at the end of every period and have a shower and then get dressed again. He played something like 800 games in a row. Check it out. His stats are stupid.
Yeah, Glenn Hall is
Glenn
a
Hall.
legend.
I don't know why I know this summertime. I don't know. Honestly, it was hockey cards and sticker books and like a very, very minimum group of friends, and I just remembered all this stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. Good for
I
you.
know.
Good
I
for
know.
you.
I know. I'm sorry. Well, no, I kind of feel bad about that, but whatever.
If Brownie was your nickname, you'd be collecting hockey cards too.
That's
I
right.
guess, yeah. Well, mine was stupid Malaysian boy. But anyways, yeah.
That's bad. That's not really good.
So
Could
this
have been more creative.
Yeah,
Like, but that's such a kid nickname. There's no creativity.
no.
What's he do? Oh, he's a Malaysian boy. He's stupid.
Stupid Malaysian boy.
So dumb. Like, really?
All nicknames
Kids
are
are
dumb,
stupid.
especially the first
I
ones.
know.
And that's going to end the third period.
All right.
Jeez, how long are we going here?
Well, we're
don't know.
about 43 in. I don't know.
All right, game's
It's almost
over.
tomorrow.
Game's over.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
All right.
game's over. No
Hartford's moving to Carolina. He wants to go.
Yeah. Let's walk us out of here.
Shut her down. Get the flags out.
Yeah.
All right.
Are we gonna have overtime or I don't know? I've been watching this game because I've been sitting on the bench talking to you
Yeah,
guys. So I have no.
I know.
Did anybody win?
Summer
I have no
was the
idea.
only
You
one
left
that
for a
had
while.
the
Like,
shift,
where did you
but
go?
The coach likes Summer, though.
They love you. You're always playing.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
always
play.
playing.
Uh,
Getting a
I know.
burger,
Once
fry.
Once a
you know.
game, he's going to get hot dogs.
Well, if we're on the bench with you, you can't just get a burger and fries by yourself. Like, come
He
on.
never brings
Hook
us
some brothers
anything
up.
back.
Sorry, boys.
Never,
Yeah.
ever brings us anything.
Oh, it's
All
like,
right.
it's like I'm getting some.
Well, you fire?
Oh, yeah?
Are you
All right.
Are you firing up some tunes, or do we got a question for overtime here?
Yeah. Good question.
I don't know. Is there a question?
Like a
Hello,
nickname
do you-
question, or-
No, I have no further questions myself here. But
What about nicknames in NHL teams that you don't like, or do you think are stupid?
are there
The Niagara
names
Ice
that
Dogs.
are stupid? No.
That's kind of. I think anything with the name ice in front of it is retarded. Like the ice burgers, the ice snails, the ice dogs, the ice penguins. Like, it's stupid. You're just trying too hard. That's so 90s, right?
The Ice Dogs.
You got to make it cool and like edgy. And like, no, you don't. You don't
Cherry
have to do
the
that.
Ice Dogs?
And that was his dog, right,
Right?
Blue?
Yeah,
You know.
that's right.
But they could have been the dogs or the hounds or the bulldogs or the dog bulls or the bullhounds or
Dog
something.
Bulls.
You know.
The Doorstown Dog Bulls. That's it.
Mississauga
I
grapes.
don't know where
or something.
Doorstown came from.
I don't know.
Doorstown, Connecticut. Sounds like it could work.
I don't know.
All right, well, that's going to do it for episode
That was like the
7.
worst. That was like a McDavid Draisaitl overtime. It was like over in like the first 20
That's right.
seconds.
Did we
Yeah.
call overtime?
It's
I
game
didn't-
over.
Okay. Yeah. No.
Well, yeah, I think we're heading out. So
Yeah. All right.
let's.
Game's over.
Yeah,
all right,
we're brutal. All right.
Game's over.
give a shit.
All right. Well,
And,
Lead us out here, Lang Time.
okay.